particular instance, I'm referring to the quantum fiber services and their ability to operate appropriately.
Yes.
So
what I've shut all of that equipment.
Or just disregard what I'm about to say and interrupt. Sure.
I've shut off all of that equipment, and it hasn't worked. It still drops out. I've had just this. We've made sure even they're on different channels. I've had your equipment mess up every single time, and the Xfinity and my router has worked perfectly, and it's never skipped a beat. My Xfinity router had an uptime of 2.5 years without a single reset or dropout. Not one. Yours drops out every hour or two.
Okay.
And like I said, I've unplugged it because that's what the text said too. And so we had only your router plugged in, no other Wi-Fi. And we had one Wi-Fi device connected to it, which was my S24 Ultra. While they were here, theirs wasn't connected to it, just my phone, and it dropped out. And what it says is, it says, failed to connect due to unstable connection. And they've walked around with their phone and have done the channels and have made sure it's all, 2 feet away from the wireless router, it says it's failed to connect. So what you do is you either have to unplug the wireless router and plug it back in, and then it works. Or you can forget the network on my phone, reconfigure it, and it'll connect again for another hour or two, and then it disconnects again.
Okay.
And it only happens, and I'm going to add this too, it only happens to Wi-Fi 7 devices. Wi-Fi 6 devices and Wi-Fi 5 or 5G and 2.4 gigahertz bands, it never messes up. It's only for the Wi-Fi 7 devices, which if you look at the back of this thing, it says Wi-Fi 7 certified, which that's a lie because it's not Wi-Fi 7 certified. Clearly, it didn't get enough testing.
Okay. So, Connor, my speed tests here, and again, I'm not arguing with you about what you might be seeing on your end, so just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing speed tests are a little above on the download. The 3 gigabit speed that you're talking about, you're sitting at about 3,169.22 megabits per second.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing about a little shy of 2,600 megabits per second on the upload. Now, I can send another technician out. Honestly, though, given our conversation, it sounds like the third-party equipment that you're utilizing prior to our call today seems to have resolved virtually every issue that you said you previously had. Would I be inaccurate in that statement, Connor?
Yes, it has.
Okay. So we have a couple of options here then, Connor. There's nothing saying that you can't use your third-party equipment, and as you've stated, it seems to operate exactly as it should, okay? So if you want to just continue to use that and just use that equipment exclusively, then more power to you, okay? That being said, if you're not wanting to do that, or maybe if you're looking to be able to use the equipment that you and I have been going through the process of trying to get up and operational again, which I do see that it is reconnected back to the network. Again, not arguing with you if it will drop in the next hour or so. I'm just telling you what I can see right now. If that's the case, and you would like to use that equipment going forward, similar to previous instances, I can send a tech out and they can look into potentially replacing any existing equipment that you have, or maybe running some diagnostics. I would say the only other thing that I don't see that has occurred with regards to the equipment would be that, maybe just getting some additional coverage. The 1700, that large square pod or router, as you've been referring to it during our conversation, should, in theory, be able to cover about 3,700 square feet by itself. Now, that's an estimation, okay? It's not pure, cold hard fact. And there are exceptions to every rule. So if it's a matter of the signal being weaker in certain areas of the home, I'm not certain if that's the case. So if it is, certainly let me know. But if that is the case, then adding an additional pod may provide some additional coverage as well as stability throughout the home, seeing as how in that instance the signal would not be degrading over such a large distance if you're further away from that device with whatever might be connected to the internet on. Is that something that you've noticed at all, or?
No, it's never been a signal issue. I've always had the 3 to 4 bars. My house is only 2,300 square feet, 2,100 square feet, and mainly we live in the living room and the master. I don't have any other issues anywhere else.
Sure.
As that, and more or less I'm doing this as a basically like my own investigation to help other people who may have this issue. So, and it's not so much as the fact that yeah, I do have it working with my own equipment. It's the principle. You guys are saying Wi-Fi 7, this and that, and it's not. It's not Wi-Fi 7 certified.
Okay.
And it works for everybody else that doesn't have Wi-Fi 7. My wife's old iPhone before her new one wasn't Wi-Fi 7 works fine, and I'm assuming that's the case for a lot of users and consumers out there who don't have Wi-Fi 7 devices. Wi-Fi 7 just got introduced in the iPhone, which came out in October. Wi-Fi 7 came out a year ago with the Samsung. So I'm assuming not everybody has that. But the people that do,
not a very new technology, yeah.
And the people that do have that are having issues with this specific router. So what I'm trying to do is get a resolution that we can post and make sure that you guys have had a resolution for this wireless router, because I have made a couple of posts on some forums about it, and then people are wanting to know what the resolution is. So whether that be,
you're doing research for other people.
Correct.
How generous. Okay, so what would you like to do? Would you like me to send somebody out, or would you prefer to just use your own third-party equipment going forward?
I mean, yeah, I can. If you want to reimburse me for my third-party equipment, that would be great. That would be a great resolution.
That's not at all what I said. I said, would you like to use your third-party equipment, or would you like me to send out a technician? We would not be reimbursing you for anything.
Okay. So, no reimbursement on that for my own equipment, but you'll send out your equipment that isn't working and expect that to be good for the customer.
If you want to use your own third-party equipment, you're free to do so. As you've mentioned, it sounds like there's been little to no issues using that. But if you would like me to send out a technician to look into our equipment to see if there's something wrong with it, replace it, or whatever the case may be, then I am happy to do so.
Yeah, and that's if they have a fix. If they have a fix for it, yeah. But from the technicians that have been out here 15 times, they say that there is no fix for this yet. There's a firmware update that they're waiting.
I'll send a technician out. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm just going to finish these notes, and then we'll get that scheduled. Okay, Connor?
All right. Well.
Perfect.
And then let me ask you this: if their resolution is that they can't fix it, what's going to be our resolution moving forward?
I wouldn't be able to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't really know, Connor.
Yeah. Well, this is all getting posted, online too. Like, it's not.
Okay.
This is going to be a major issue. So.
Thank you so much.
Because in my line of work, I get demanded to perfection, and if I don't deliver perfection, I get called out for it, and I have to fix it. But it seems like nobody else,
Got it.
and nobody else in any other industry is willing to do the same, or to admit that
Got
there's
it.
a
So
problem.
we're all held to perfection because you are?
Oh yeah, I get held to perfection with my line of work like nobody's business.
Got
And
it.
I deliver a product
Looks
that
like a fair
works.
assessment for everyone. Okay. All right.
And what are the notes on this? I mean, I can't be the only one having Wi-Fi 7 issues. There's got to be somebody else.
So, Connor, I would say, it depends on the situation. There's a lot of things that can go into what might be impacting a person's internet services in the home. Sometimes it's like building materials. Sometimes there's, just a defect with that particular product. But it's not kind of a one-size-fits-all situation because everybody's house is a little different. Environment is going to be filled with different things that could attenuate or impact the signal. So it's kind of hard to say. But by sending a technician out, we can hopefully resolve the issue and get this fixed for you going forward.
Yeah, I have screenshots too of every time it's disconnected, and it's all within.
Great.
It's all within, like, even when I'm a couple feet away from it. It's not, and we know it's not the building material because the third-party router, which is Wi-Fi 7, is working properly. So.
Okay. Dispatching to repair. Okay, so we're just gonna grab this. Oh, there we go. Of the appointment while the technician's there, so just be sure to be available when they arrive. Additionally, if you can just have the equipment accessible to the technician. If it's behind something, we'll move it out of the way just so that they can get to it. And then, nope. All right. One last thing I would say that if for whatever reason, if the issue does like seemingly resolve itself before the appointment, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, then you can certainly cancel the appointment if you like via the portal, the app. There's also a text message chat function available on the website, so just something to be aware of. But I do have some availability as soon as what looks like the 6th. So that would be this coming Monday. I have an 8 a.m. to 11, 2, as well as a 2 to 5. Otherwise, there's also availability on the 7th, 8th, 9th, so on and so forth.
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, that's fine.
Which one? I gave you like 3 different dates.
The closest one.
Okay, 8 a.m. to 11, 11 to 2, or 2 to 5 for January 6th.
8 a.m. to 11, January 6th.
Okay. 2 me one moment here while that just confirms on my end. All right, and the appointment is scheduled for this coming Monday, January 6th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. A couple of last-minute things, Connor. When the technician does arrive, or when they're on their way, they'll traditionally send text or email notifications to let you know when they're on their way as well as when they've arrived. So in the interest of making sure that you're up to date about their whereabouts as they make their way to you, I would say definitely be sure to keep your phone's ringer turned all the way up just so that you can hear those notifications come in. And then additionally, they may also call you. So if you do receive any phone calls that day, even if you don't recognize the number, I would strongly suggest you answer the phone as it's likely to be tech trying to get a hold of you. But is there anything else that I can assist you with today before I let you go, Connor?
Just again, if they have no resolution to the problem, what are we going to do moving forward?
As I've mentioned already before, Connor, I don't have the answers for you on that. The technicians would have to review the situation, and then if there's something that can be done, then they will, to the best of their ability, try to execute whatever that plan may be. Now, if that's not something that is able to be fixed or resolved, then we can take additional steps. But I would first need to know what the technician saw and what that initial reasoning was before I would be able to move forward and tell you. Okay.
I thought they've already did that though, because they've already came out here and told they've knocked the advanced technician came out here, knocked on my door, said, "Yep, we don't have any updates for this," and then left. So I mean, there was no resolution from that point moving forward when he initially came out here again.
So all I can see here in the notes is instances of them coming out. The notes are somewhat limited. I can only tell you what I can see in front of me here. I don't have the answers that you're requesting. So again, I would defer to the technician. So certainly speak to them when they've arrived, and then we can go from there. But I won't be able to answer a question to give you an answer that I don't have an answer to.
Okay.
Okay? Anything else?
Nope.
Appreciate your time, Connor, and thank you for calling Quantum Fiber. You have a great rest of your day and a happy weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.